What if everything we thought we knew about angels was incomplete? What if the divine messengers we've always imagined, beings of light and power, were not as one-dimensional as we've been told? For centuries, religious texts have depicted angels as mostly male or genderless. But what if the truth has been hidden from us all along? Could there be a secret history of female angels, figures of beauty and strength who shaped the world in ways we've never considered? What if these angels were not only forgotten, but deliberately erased from the narrative to maintain control over religious stories? As we explore the mythologies and ancient texts across various cultures, we begin to uncover mysterious references to female celestial beings, figures who existed not as passive helpers, but as active, powerful agents in the divine order. These figures are more than just myths or stories. They are symbols of untapped, divine energy, waiting to be recognized. Could it be that religious traditions, both old and new, have concealed the full truth about the role of women in the celestial hierarchy? Join me as we delve into this fascinating and hidden history of angels, starting with the elusive and often overlooked concept of female angels. As we break down centuries-old beliefs and uncover the untold stories, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the existence of female angels could have been suppressed for a reason? Are they part of a deeper spiritual truth waiting to be rediscovered? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out other fascinating videos right here on Celestial Chronicles. Together, we'll uncover more of these hidden celestial secrets. Angels have long been depicted as divine messengers, beings that bridge the gap between God and humanity. From the Old Testament to Islamic texts, angels have played pivotal roles in communicating divine will. But what if there's more to these celestial figures than we've been led to believe? What if some of these angels were not male at all? In many ancient cultures, female deities and celestial beings held power, wisdom, and authority. So why then has the image of a female angel been buried beneath layers of tradition and dogma? Throughout history, religious narratives have primarily featured male angels, often presenting them as messengers, warriors, or protectors. But if we examine certain obscure passages in the Bible, Talmud, and other ancient scriptures, we begin to uncover traces of female angelic figures. Take, for example, the enigmatic figure of Lilith, often considered a demon in later Judaic traditions, but also believed by some to have once been an angel in the celestial realm. Lilith is said to have been created as Adam's first wife before Eve, yet she left him due to disagreements over equality. Some texts suggest she was cast out of Eden, but others propose that she retained her angelic essence, roaming the earth as an immortal being. Lilith's story reveals an interesting intersection between angelic power and feminine rebellion, a theme that some scholars argue was suppressed by patriarchal religious movements. However, Lilith is not the only female angelic figure that has been relegated to the fringes of religious thought. Ancient Babylonian and Sumerian texts offer glimpses of goddess-like beings who could easily be mistaken for female angels. Figures like Inanna, who descended to the underworld and took on the role of a divine messenger, or Ishtar, a goddess associated with both love and war, hint at an early understanding of female celestial beings influencing the mortal realm. So what does this say about the historical treatment of women in religious texts? Was the idea of female angels deliberately erased to uphold a certain narrative about divine authority? What role did these female beings play in the divine order, and why have we heard so little about them? In the Christian Bible, angels are most often portrayed as male, and their role is clear: to deliver God's messages and carry out His will. But if we dig deeper into the ancient scriptures, a different story begins to emerge. Are these male angels a product of interpretation and tradition, or is there more hidden beneath the surface? One of the most well-known angelic figures in the Bible is Gabriel, often depicted as a messenger of God. Gabriel is described as a being of great power and importance, delivering pivotal messages to figures like Mary, mother of Jesus, and the prophet Daniel. In most depictions, Gabriel is considered male. But why is this so? Some scholars suggest that early Christian interpretations of angelic beings may have favored male imagery, further reinforcing societal norms about power and divinity. However, Gabriel's true identity is never explicitly gendered in the scriptures. Could Gabriel have been female or perhaps gender-neutral originally? This interpretation could open a whole new layer of theological discourse. Even more curious is the Book of Enoch, a text often excluded from the Christian canon, but considered significant in Judaism and Christianity. In this text, angels called the Watchers descend to earth, and among them, there is a reference to female angels or angels of the waters. While the male angels dominate the narrative, these female figures represent something deeper, something mysterious. The Watchers themselves are ambiguous, both revered and feared, and their actions, particularly their relationship with mortal women, hint at complex celestial dynamics that go beyond the male-dominated angelic hierarchy. There is also the mysterious mention of the Nephilim, the offspring of angels and human women, in Genesis. Are these angels truly male? Why have we never fully explored the idea that female angels may have been part of this narrative, either as the beings responsible for such unions or as part of a greater cosmic balance? Could this unexplored dimension shed light on the hidden history of female angels? Looking beyond the Bible, we see the existence of female angels and angelic-like figures in mythological traditions across the world. These figures, often portrayed as goddesses, guardians, or even messengers, transcend the boundaries of the Abrahamic faiths and open our minds to the possibility of celestial beings that defy the traditional, patriarchal portrayal of angels. For example, in Greek mythology, we encounter goddesses who served as protectors and guides, such as Athena, Artemis, and Hera. While not angels in the strictest sense, their roles in guiding human affairs closely mirror the functions of angels in many cultures. In Roman traditions, female figures like Venus and Diana were seen as celestial beings whose influence over mortals was both divine and mysterious. Could these goddesses be the distant echoes of an ancient belief in female angels, now lost to the ages? In Hinduism, the concept of divine messengers or celestial beings is rich with female figures. Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, is often depicted as a guide, providing knowledge to those who seek it. While not traditionally categorized as an angel, Saraswati's role as a divine helper to humanity mirrors the functions we associate with angels in Western traditions. Could these female deities, revered as wise and powerful figures, be the spiritual predecessors of the female angelic beings? Furthermore, medieval Christian folklore contains mentions of female angels, although these beings were often presented in more ambiguous or even negative lights. Some traditions speak of female angels who fell from grace, much like Lucifer. These fallen angels were portrayed as symbols of temptation and rebellion, figures of beauty and power, whose female form presented a unique challenge to the prevailing religious order. Throughout history, the idea of female angels has been both controversial and contested. Religious communities, particularly in the Abrahamic faiths, have often downplayed or entirely suppressed the notion of female angelic beings. Why has the feminine aspect of the divine been so heavily regulated? Was it because female figures threatened the patriarchal structure of religious authority? Medieval Christianity struggled with the role of women in the divine order. Angels were seen as powerful, obedient servants of God. But women, at least in the traditional sense, were often considered to be weaker, more vulnerable, and less capable of such roles. As a result, female angelic representations were either ignored or portrayed in ways that diminished their importance. Did early religious scholars intentionally suppress the stories of female angels to maintain control over religious narratives? The idea of female angels also contradicts certain theological principles that equate masculinity with divine authority. The Catholic Church, for instance, has always emphasized a male-centric view of divinity, as evidenced by the Holy Trinity. To introduce female angels would challenge this long-held ideology and create a ripple effect in how society views the divine. Could this be the reason why the historical and theological presence of female angels has been minimized? In recent decades, there has been a growing interest in the concept of female angels within contemporary spirituality. As society's views on gender and equality continue to evolve, so too does our understanding of the divine. Modern theologians, scholars, and spiritual practitioners are increasingly exploring the idea of female angels, not just as figures of beauty and grace, but as powerful spiritual entities with their own agency and significance. Some have argued that female angels represent the nurturing, compassionate, and intuitive aspects of the divine, qualities that are often overshadowed by the more masculine portrayals of God's will. These angels could offer a new perspective on the balance between masculine and feminine energies within the universe. The presence of female angels challenges the old paradigms of power and control, offering a more holistic, inclusive vision of the divine. As we move forward, it's worth reflecting on how these ancient and often overlooked figures, those angels of light, those celestial beings who transcend gender, can help reshape our understanding of spirituality. Are female angels just mythological figures, or are they archetypes that embody the untold potential of the feminine in our connection to the divine?